What is up guys, and welcome to my channel and for another Outriders build video. So I have now probably made a build that is so similar to Pyro with his Ash Blast and his Overheat combo, but it's now on the Technomancer using his Cold Snap to clear the entire map. It's absolutely ridiculous of how good it is. It's surely not as strong as the Pyromancer, but it's still really damn good at clearing the expedition super quickly. So firstly, I will just let this Boomtown expedition run and show you how good this build really is. And I shall have the full build in the end of the video.
That noise. It's like I've wandered into some maniac's idea of a party. Look at that. There's a pod here.
Let's play.
As you can see, this build is totally ridiculous. It is probably the best build for speedrunning for the Technomancer. Of course you guys could probably do better cause my aiming is super trash. Its potential to clear entire maps is super amazing. Its only downfall is probably the fact that it takes a little bit longer to kill bosses, but it's not like it's not doable. It'll just take a few more hits. Also, if you couldn't see, I was using the Flame Leaper set that can inflict Blightfire. The set at the moment doesn't take advantage of the toxic damage mods once Blightfire is inflicted, so things like the Euthanizer don't get much use after the Blightfire is inflicted. The devs are aware of this and hopefully it should be patched soon. Once that is done, then this build will be capable of doing both bossing as well as mobbing super easily. With that, let's look at the skills and why the Cold Snap does so much damage. So this is an anomaly focused build, and the reason why the Cold Snap alone is killing everything, it's not because of the damage from the Cold Snap, but actually the dot damage from the status effects are what is actually killing the enemies. It's not like the Pyro in which you use the Ash Blast and then you follow it up with the Overheat. This one is just Cold Snap and then the status effects with the dot damage is what kills the enemies. Your toxic damage and the other status effects that you will be inflicting will do great dot damage and can go for millions, which is why everything dies when you use your Cold Snap. So in our pack tree, we have this beautiful skill called Lethal Devices, which will allow all our skills to inflict toxic. So our Cold Snap will inflict freeze as well as toxic around the whole map. And then after you inflict toxic, we also have this another skill called the Permanence. What this skill will do is whenever you inflict toxic, you will also inflict another random status effect. So now you will have freeze, toxic and another random element on the enemies all around the map. Then we have the dissection skill, which will increase our damage based on how many status effects are on the enemies. Since we will always have at least 3 effects on the enemies, and our anomaly and status power is so high, they will kill entire maps with just your cold snap. The dot damage from your status effects will kill anything and everything. We firstly go down the middle tree to get as much cooldown reduction on our cold snap as we can. We also get exposing toxin. Since the cold snaps inflict toxic, we will now have every single enemy that the cold snap hits be inflicted with vulnerable as well. This is also another status effect we are adding onto the enemies, which will make our damage even higher. We then move down the bottom tree to get adrenalizing antenna to get bonus anomaly power when we use our decay skills, which in our case will be using the blighted turret. Then we grab all the anomaly power, resistance piercing and cooldown on our ordnance skill, and we get the capstone tech bond to get 50% bonus anomaly power whenever we use our ordnance skill, which in our case will be the scrapple grenade. We need as much anomaly power as we can to make our status effects do a lot of dot damage. When playing the build, you always just toss out a blighted turret as well as your grenade just to get those anomaly power bonuses, and then you can use your cold snap. The scrapple grenade is also useful as it does help in taking out the elites as well as bosses, since you will have really high anomaly power. For the weapons, once again, you can go with the weapon with the best mods that you have. If you have one with armor pierce and status power stats, it'll be even better. I personally use the charred lance and the Damascus offering. The lance is great as it already comes with the armor piercing and the status power. I also love the death ray as you can just aim down the sight and get that beam to do constant damage. I added in Mage's Rage as my second mod for more anomaly power on crits. For my third mod is also great as it will inflict weakness on the enemies as well. Once again, another status effect we are adding onto the enemies. From our weapons as well as our skills, we get at least 5 status effects on the enemy at a time. The Damascus is just great to dish out some really fast damage thanks to the good mods that rolled on it. The armor we run is the Flame Leaper set. We use the headpiece, the chest piece and the pants. Of course you may not be able to get the exact mods that you see here, or maybe you have better ones. It will all depend on how much the game's RNG likes you. But the most important mod you will need is the Icicle Storm. Enemies who die from the skill will explode and deal damage. Since every single enemy will always be killed by the cold snap, this is by far the most important mod you will need for this build. Rest, even if it's not there, it may not be a huge difference. Like the Danger Close, it's probably not the best one and I'm not going to be in close range most of the time. It does help with the bosses, but it can be better. Freezing boost is also not that bad since we're always going to be inflicting freeze on the enemies. Other than that, on the headpiece I added in Captain Hunter for more damage against elites. On the chest piece I added in no resistance against the fortified, which will basically increase our resistance piercing based on our armor piercing value. And then on our pants I just added an Euthanizer for more damage to enemies affected with toxic. Then I'm using my epic gloves which has power simulation. This will boost my anomaly power for each elite on the map. And then I have a really good third mod which is Arms and Anomaly. This will boost my anomaly power by a really big amount whenever we land a critical hit. These 3 mods are pretty much vital for this build as well. Then for the boots I'm running an epic item with Toxic Piercer. This will boost the dot damage that Toxic will deal, so it's great if you can get this mod. Long Winter is actually really important as it will increase the effect radius of your cold snap. I tried running the build without this mod, and it wasn't really that strong as you would sometimes not be able to hit a lot of enemies at a distance, so Long Winter is pretty important to have. Diffuse is also not bad as it will help with survivability. That's mostly it on the weapons and gear pieces. I will leave a full detailed look at what all the gear pieces are on the screen right now if you're wanting a full look at the items. If you like speedrunning expeditions or just want another way to play Technomancer, this is a really fun build to play with. Of course, it's not as strong as what Pyro can do, but it's still strong enough that can run through these expeditions super quickly. You could also do tarya gratar as well, as it will be just as good. We are using the Flame Leaper set, which can inflict blight fire. You will most certainly see that happen on elites or bosses. The way you play this build is basically just throw out your turret and scrapple grenade, so you get all your anomaly power bonuses and then just use your cold snap. You can use your weapon if you have Mage's Rage to land critical hits and increase your anomaly power even further. The more AP you have, the stronger your dot damage from your status effects will be. The blight fire will take for millions and millions of damage, which will make easy work of the elites and the bosses. Use your Blighted Turret to inflict Toxic on those elites and get them inflicted with Blightfire status. You also have your Scrapple Grenade as well. They will deal a great amount of damage to the elites. You can easily just run through the entire map and just keep using your Cold Snap. It will easily destroy anything and everything that spawns. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. If you guys like speedrunning, then this build will be right up your alley. What do you guys think of this new Techno build? Let me know. I would love to hear from you all. I will catch you all next time.